It's January 26, 2022. And this video is brought to you by Pioneer 8-Track. In 2022, 8-Tracks are making a comeback. And Black Bart, the pinnacle of automotive security in 1982. Woke up millions at 2 a.m. for decades. Black Bart will wake you up at 2 a.m. And Audiomobile sound. They gave us the architecture of auto sound. Big Dog Bro Dave in the house. I got to writing on this forum about the Audiomobile product from the good old days. Got me to thinking, I should go dig this stuff out of the box and scratch my head. God, that's been a while. Sensitivity switch. You see that? They used to do it with a switch. There's one position, 2 position, 3 position, 4 positions. Sensitivity switch on the newer branded stuff. This is actually an Audiomobile branded new generation Audiomobile amp. And how you can tell is it's got the hard, beautiful metal insert with the name on it printed. The newer stuff that was made by Advent has a shiny, glossy black cover. I got one of them sitting over there. But yeah, this is an actual Audiomobile branded SA-450. It's branded Audiomobile on the printed circuit board inside. Later versions would be K40. K40 made this product till its demise. 88-ish. They actually had a 400 here originally on this particular amp rack setup with the electronic crossover. 400 is a little bit smaller. This is a SA-450. And the crossover is mounted up on top. Little metal brackets. And then I have a SA-1000 × 2 sitting over here. Venerable Audiomobile amplifiers. These are what, 100-watt amplifiers. 50 watts per channel. RMS at 0.005, something like that. Old specs. Overrated, underrated, whatever you want to call it. This is the best gear available. Top of the Automobile auto sound line, if that was available to the consumer at the time. This particular rack setup in 1977 would have costed you about $2,200. And to give you a little perspective, a brand new Camaro would have costed you about $4,700. So you could have bought a brand new Camaro and then went to the stereo shop and spent just about half as much money to buy this amp rack, okay? Now you need speakers, go with it, and a sound, a stereo. So there's that. Just to give you a little perspective, this is kind of the wealthy guys' auto sound system. Guys with money, big bucks. Bass amp, you see that? Rear, front. Okay. These are the first guys in auto sound to give us the front, rear, and bass sub thing. Okay. Basically, that's what Audiomobile gets credit for. And history is that they figured out the 3-channel thing, front channel, rear channel, and sub. And they got a fader that goes on here. This particular one has a fader bypass. That's what that is right there. Yeah, you pull this out and you plug in the fader, and then the fader is on a long cord that goes all the way up to the front there on the knob. And you can fade between the front and the rear. Do your sub thing. So, rack architecture. It's another thing that Audiomobile is kind of a first. Prior to them, you really never saw a setup like this on a rack, all set up, ready to go, all wired, boom, 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 ready to go with a DIN. And then you got the everything all in pretty good, well-explained terms here. What you're hooking up. Good old days. This will be all your speakers and such. And then your power lugs over here, battery and ground. These things were turned on via a remote wire, okay? That was inside the DIN plug. So inside the plug itself, boom, boom. The plugs from here would all go inside 1, 2, 3. And then from there, shoot forward. Do this one right here. From there, it would go to the equalizers. This SP-300. I believe this is one of the earlier ones because it's super brown, the logo there. Later they refined it. You got a little bit more bright and orange, as you can see. I'm not sure. Hard to say with these products. But yeah. I got a couple of them. I just stumbled over one long ago. Fred Vinson. I'm not even sure where I got that other one, but I don't know. I can't remember. Long time I've had this stuff in a box, you know what I'm saying? Audiomobile gear, my God. Yeah, man, there you go. Basically, you would have a DIN plug here that would run through the loops. Another DIN plug right there, run through the loops. Another DIN plug here through the loops that would end up inside your crossover. Out of there into the equalizer, and then from the equalizer it would go up to your head unit. On these equalizers, as you can see, they have holes in the bottom of them for level adjustments, so you can match your voltage of your head unit up to these amplifier and equalizer system. Get your signal just right, because back then preamp was kind of rare. A customer that would buy a product like this would seek out a tech to find the preamp inside the stereo that they had. So a lot of times you would have a stereo that didn't have preamp, but it had speaker wires coming out of it. But inside there's preamp inside that, in that circuit board over there. So you'd have to go inside there, take the thing apart, solder in some RCA cables, and then run them out. And used to get paid to do that. I did a lot of those back in the good old days. That and making DIN plugs. A lot of times you had to make them. I got all the plugs sitting in the box over there for all this stuff. It's just not plugged in. And I was contemplating doing them all at New School. Here's my New School Audiomobile app. This is a large logo. I'm not sure if that means much, but these are much smaller. Right here. And then there's that one there. See how big the logo is. That's a large logo. SA-1000, large, like this big large, I guess. There you go. But yeah, on this one I went and tagged in RCA cables, boom, boom. So we can do the RCA input. Don't even bother with the DIN. Run it through the high level input hole right there. No big deal. Didn't have to drill nothing, you know. Got a couple of dangling RCAs now. As the blue wire goes on these particular amplifiers, the blue wire is actually that bottom one right there in the middle. You see? That blue wire right here goes right to there. This one had a little stubby blue wire sticking out of it, so I just stuck a connector on there. So for reference purposes, you got your speakers on the end here. This top one in the middle, that would be this is the bottom of the amp right here. The bottom of the amp. All right, top one there's nothing in there. And then the bottom one in the middle. Closest to the bottom in the center is a blue turn on. And you can just add a wire here, you know? And then you got your blue turn on wire to turn this amp on and off. The blue turn on wire is another thing that Audiomobile historically will be known for. They were like the first to introduce the whole thinking that current sensing was messed up and we needed to do something different. And they're the ones that came up with the blue remote wire. And I don't know if any of you even know what current sensing is, but in the old days, like especially Fosgate stuff was current sensing. The old Fosgate stuff was current sensing. You would have to draw current through the remote wire to turn on the amplifier. A lot of times you would hook it up to a switch with a light bulb, a little teeny bulb, or a resistor, that kind of thing, you know, to get it to turn on. What we were supposed to do is just take the radio power and hook it up to the remote wire coming out of the amp. The amp, in essence, supplies power to the radio. Then that power wire you got from the radio and the dash, you would run to the amplifier. And that would power the amplifier. So yeah, current sensing was a bit confusing in the beginning there, and they straightened it out with the Audiomobile guys. They're the ones that came up with the thinking that let's turn everything on with 12 volts. And the architecture, like I said, the whole rack mount thinking. This is an actual Audiomobile rack that you could buy, like I said, for about $2,300, $2,400 bucks in 1977. When I was an 18-year-old kid, was a millionaire kid, one of them highfalutins. I might have one of these or even two of these in my car, driving around Cali. Now, as the DIN goes on these things, there you go, the DIN plug, that's a 6-pin, yep, 6-pin DIN. And for Robbie, and the screaming in the background, rockstar lunatic, my friend for life. God bless Robbie's soul. As you can see, it's a 6-pin DIN. Yeah, like that. I'm going to turn it over this way, just so that you can see the plug upside down, and you can get a little order. You start from the bottom left. 1, 2, 3 would be the top middle there. And then 4 and 5 would be the last one on the right. Okay. The first one, bottom left, is right minus input. The next one above it, number 2, will be plus input, your RCA level input. The top middle one over there, up in the top in the center, is not used at all. Okay, there's nothing there. Number 4, which is the one on the next one onto the right, will be left plus, and then the final pin down there on the bottom is your left minus input, RCA level, 500 millivolts. You can see there's a center lug right there. Center lug is blue, 12 volts, turn on. Okay, so yeah, these amps have a blue 12 volt turn on out coming on this side over here, you know, through the DIN. And they also have a 12 volt turn on wire, the bottom middle lug on the plug there. Just so you know, okay, your uncle kicks the bucket, leaves you a box of old stuff, and you got stuff like this in it that says Audiomobile on it. Don't just throw it away or give it to the Salvation Army, because your uncle was as cool as they came, and he knew something or another about auto sound and loved his music. Because that's what this is all about. When you spend thousands and thousands of dollars back in the 70s for stuff like this in your car, that was a mentality. You're a special person. Kudos to them early pioneers of sound. Paul Starry and Rich Coe. Starry formed a company, and I understand Coe was the brains behind it all. If anybody made the best and established a benchmark for the entire industry going forward, it was a company called Audiomobile. Yeah, there you go. History. Big Dog Bro Dave, check it out. Oh, wait a minute. Forgot about the crossover. This thing weighs a ton. It's heavy. It's easily 10 pounds, I think. More. The most rare. A lot of people just didn't bother with the crossover. They just went straight to speakers. For whatever reason, they didn't make too many of these. But this would have gone to the front speaker situation through the smaller amplifier, so that you can run your mids and highs up in front through that. And then the back amplifier would have been full range 6x9s. And then the bass amplifier would have been your cabinet that you would have actually built back in those days with a pair of Jensens, maybe some JBLs, Serwin Vegas, Altic Lansings. There's quite a few bass speakers made. Mids and highs was coming along, but yeah. Audiomobile CX2. From what I understand, this is one of them eye openers right there. Great paperweight. I gotta reform the caps in that thing, get it back to life. There you go. Audiomobile rack video in 2022. For anybody that, you know, might be historically curious. And one that I modded, you know, with RCAs and a remote control. This amp ran hard, serious 2-ohm load for an hour straight before it finally thermaled in 2021 in my car outside. I got a Kia. You know, I'm going to put all these inside the Firebird. That's why you're here, I think. One of these days I'm going to drop this one here on there. I'm going to do them all up in RCAs, and I'm going to put this whole rack in that Firebird over there. There you go. Just for fun. Big Dog Bro Dave in the house. Checking out. Rock and roll. Audiomobile, baby. Good stuff. Great stuff. The pinnacle. The best.
Haters gonna hate.